Hello everybody and welcome to a new video on XTCMS. In this video I'm going to go through one of the new features that's coming in the new 3.0 version. I've already done a previous video on some of the admin improvements, so if you haven't seen that, give it a look, and I'll try and put a link somewhere so you can get to it easily. And so in this video we're going to focus on the changes and the new improvements that's been made to the team section in the admin area. So this is the demo website that I have up and running, and it says CMS version 2.4 down here, but once it's released it'll be version 3.0. Without further ado, let's go into the team section over here. And this is changed from the previous version in that in the previous version all you would have gotten was the ability to select and choose the team that you want to use. So you would use this drop down, you would select the team you want, and you would click the button to change it. Usually you only ever want one custom team for your website, but there is occasions where you might want maybe a separate team, maybe for like a particular season or time of the year. You might want to switch your team up, or if you're just refreshing your website and going from an old team to a newer team as well. So now in this new version of 3.0, there's a lot of changes here that's been made, and you can now see the active team that you've selected here, which will list the page templates that are within the team, and also the CSS files that the CMS will use to control the visual colors and the fonts and things like that that's shown for the dynamic content that the CMS serves. So you got your page templates and you've got your CSS files. Now, before you would have had to edit your page templates locally on your computer and then upload them. And then once you upload them, you just update the team to get the CMS to refresh and use the latest files that you've uploaded. But now you can actually, first of all, after you've uploaded your templates, you can actually view the template itself, the raw template. So for example, if I click on this default template here, this will show me the actual template as it has been uploaded, just completely raw, not running through the CMS. This is just the file that you've uploaded. If you look in the URL at the top here, you'll see that it's in the teams folder. It's in this team, and this is the file we're looking at. So this is exactly as it's uploaded. And you'll notice here as well that we can see one of the content tags on the page template itself. So when it's running through the CMS, these content template tags are replaced with actual dynamic content. But basically, by clicking on these, you can just see the raw file that you uploaded. So it's a good way just to check that the template files are what you expect them to be once they're uploaded, so that all the assets are being pulled in for the images and stuff like that. So it's really just a quick and easy way just to click and preview your templates. Then over on the right, you have the ability to test the template, to edit it, to enable it, and to delete it. So the testing, if we click on this icon here to test this template, the same template, this will show us the same page template. However, this is now running through the CMS. So the page template tag that was here is now replaced with some dynamic content. And you'll also see we have a new admin panel up here, which I'll talk about in a little while. But this template now is running through the CMS. So if we go back, basically you have a way now of testing your templates, the raw file, and also running through the CMS. Of course, you can select your template on any content item like a category or a product, and once you do that, you can just preview that and make sure it's working as well, of course. But this is just like a convenient thing. You've just been able to test it here as well. Now, on the CSS files, you have the same ability. You can edit, enable, and delete. And if you have a mobile team, in this particular case for this team, I actually have a mobile team as well. So what happens is the CMS on the server side will adaptively switch between the desktop team and the mobile team depending on what device is viewing the website. Now, if your team is actually responsive and it resizes for mobiles, then you'll only need one active team and you won't need a separate mobile team. So in this case, I do have the mobile, so it's showing me the page templates as well. And the CSS files are being shared between both at the moment, so it's not actually showing me separate CSS files here. But if there was CSS files in the folder here, it would show them as well. Okay, so one of the biggest things as well is the ability now to be able to edit the template or the CSS file within the CMS. So if we go back to our default page template here again and just click edit on it, you now have the ability here to actually edit the HTML code on the template within the CMS. So you can edit it locally on your own edit file editor or whatever software you use and upload it, or you can choose to do it through the CMS. And one thing to bear in mind is if you do edit the HTML code in your templates here, always download a copy of it back to your computer just to keep it synced up, so that you don't upload changes that undo changes made on the server. Now, if you want to do that, an easy way of doing it is just edit this HTML the way you want here, and then if you click on this button, default HTML, this will allow you to actually download the HTML file, the template itself, and you can overwrite one on your computer, or you can save a copy. So that is the ability to do that. You can also rename the template here on the server itself. If you want to, you can duplicate it, and by duplicating and renaming it allows you to create a copy of the file, and basically, if you make changes and you want to go back, then you can just go back to your copy, the original file or whatever. So that's handy. Down here it shows you the template tags that's used on the page template. So we can see in this case there's 3 template tags found. The page content one for the cart menu, and one to include jQuery as well. So if we click on the page content one, it'll bring us to it in the code, and we can see that this is where that tag that we viewed on the when we were looking at the raw template, this is the tag that we saw, and that just tells where the content is going to be. So one of the other new changes as well is the ability to use these tags as class names. So you have the choice now of using it as a tag like this, and this tag will be replaced by the dynamic content. Or if you want, you can just take out the tag name, and instead of using the tag there, you just put the tag name into your class over here, like that. And basically that will do the exact same thing. However, the one big difference is if you have placeholder content within this container element here, which is a div, because it has found the page content tag here, it will actually replace any placeholder content that you have in that container div with the dynamic content. So, I mean, it's a choice. You can use either or, but the one major advantage of doing it as a class name, and I'm not recommended to use it as a class name, but if you do, it allows you to keep your placeholder content in your template file. So when you're viewing the raw file, you can see how things maybe perhaps are supposed to look, and then when it's run through the CMS, it replaces all that placeholder content with the actual dynamic content. So it's an option to use it as a class name or as a tag. In addition to that, I'm just going to reload this page just to undo any changes I've made. So down the bottom here, it tells you as well if any HTML errors found on the template itself. So if I just break some code here, I'll just put in something like that and save it. And then you can see now down here it's telling me that it's found some HTML errors, invalid tag on line 3, which is the one I broke. And that is subsequently causing additional errors because closing tags and stuff like that now are broken that was belong to the head section. So we'll just undo that and we shall save it back. And no errors found. So this is just a nice way of seeing if you have any problems on your template itself before it even goes through the CMS, if there's any broken tags or anything like that. There are some errors that are not critical to things running properly, and so you might get away with some errors there just being as kind of warnings, but it's nonetheless a handy feature to have. Now, what else have we got? We go back to the theme section now, and if you click up here, you can switch between this page, the active theme, the template settings page, and this allows you to select now a template for all the different sections like login, forgot password, my account, cart, checkout. So you can select a template that you want to use on these particular sections on your page. Before, they would have all just used the default template, but now you can actually specify any template you want to use for them. These are quick links to just bring you out to that page. So on the login, if I just click on this, it'll allow me to quickly look and preview my login page. And it also lets me know, the URL where that is. And also it just tells you the tags you can use here, template tags that you can include in your template that will dynamically create links to these particular pages. Now, by using the template tags, it allows the CMS to automatically put the correct URL in for these pages. You can use an absolute URL if you want, but if anything changes, it would be up to you to update the absolute URL in the template. And by using these tags, you should never need to change them. The CMS will automatically change them as need if something should change with where it's installed or something like that. We've also got the page code section here. This was in the previous version, but it's just been moved here now to its own section. And this allows you to just put any code repeating on all the pages on your front end. So if you have some analytics code or something like that, you can just put it in here. You have the choice of putting it into the head section of the HTML on your pages, or you can put it just after the opening body tag or just before the closing body tag. So you have three options there. You can also, if you wanted, just put the code in the template itself, in the template code. So in other words, you go back here and edit default. I mean, you can actually put your custom code in here now as well. Or you can use that other page, where are we going here? So you can use this. This might be more convenient for just using analytics code though. So it's in one place, you can edit then across all pages if you need to. Anyway, the options are there to do both. Now that's a big feature now that's coming in 3.0. A lot of improvement there with that. One other thing I'll mention is that the template tags have changed. If I just go back here and edit this one. In the previous version, the content tag was page_content. So now it's changed to CMS page content, and it's separating with hyphens. There's a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is all the tags now have CMS hyphen before, just to easily identify it as being a CMS template tag. And it's to stop any possible or potential conflicts with class names or things like that might be in your template to begin with. So, for example, you might download a theme off the web, and whoever created the theme might have a class name in there called page content. And just by prepending them all with CMS hyphen, it just allows it to decreases the chances of any conflicts happening with that. In addition, because they can now be used as class names, like as I showed before, it just makes kind of more sense to use hyphens, because it's kind of like how most class names are named, even though you can use underscores as well. But anyway, just bear that in mind. So all template tags now are like that. So if you look down the bottom here, you'll see CMS page content, CMS cart name, CMS jQuery. So they're all kind of consistently named like that now. So that is a big change, and I will cover one other feature in this video, and that is the dev mode, which is up here, and you can toggle this on and off now. This is now available to anyone who's logged in as the admin, as an admin user or the main admin. If it's switched on and you view the website, so if I just open up the home page here, it will display this panel. And if you toggle it off, let's just do that. That will then be hidden. So we'll switch it back on. And what that panel pretty much does is it just allows you a quick, convenient way of getting back into the admin area just by clicking this link here, and then going back to the front end. So it allows you to switch between them, and also it shows you what you're editing or what you're viewing. So in this particular case, we're looking at category 0. And if I click this button here, it allows me to edit category 0. So it links to what we're looking at in the back end, and gives us the ability to edit it easily. And so if I go to, say, the store page, and I click on this product here, it now shows me I'm looking at product 130, blah, blah, blah. And I can click edit, and I can now quickly jump back into the admin area here and just edit that product. And then I can switch back. So it's a real convenience and quality of life feature that's new in version 3, and it makes a big difference. Now, if you have permissions to update the themes and the templates, as in this case I do because I'm logged in as the main admin user, it will also show you some data here, which is how long the response time of the page on the server side. So how long the script took to actually grab the data and output it to the client or the browser. So it's not the total page load time, because once it comes to the browser, the client has to retrieve, download the files, display them, and all that. So this is purely just the response time on the server as to how long it takes the CMS to process and have the data ready for output. So 32 milliseconds is really fast. And this little icon here is, by the way, if you see, if 500 milliseconds would be half a second. So if you start to see times going above that, then you might have kind of maybe something to look at as to why that's happening. But generally speaking, they should be fast. And also, there's the ability to switch on a cache, which would even speed it even more. So in this case, I don't think I have the cache enabled. So this is just purely dynamically grabbing the data and outputting it. Now, also, this little refresh button. So this is basically the same as if we go to theme here. It's the same as clicking this button to update the theme. So how and why that's useful is if I am working on my computer and I make some changes to the template and then I upload the template files, instead of going back to the admin area and clicking that button, I can just click this button to refresh it. So if I click this, it goes through all the theme files and updates the templates and all that. And you can see that took a little bit longer, 248 milliseconds, because it was doing all that. So if I just refresh the page, this is how it's pretty much loading normally. And so if you click this refresh button on the browser, it's just refreshing on the client side. Whereas when you click this refresh button, it's telling the CMS to do a full refresh and just scan through all your theme files and any template tags you have, replace them with the necessary PHP code and all that sort of stuff. So whenever you upload some changes to your templates, just click this button, or from the admin area, just after you do it, just come in here and click this button as well. So, but this is a really handy feature now, for whenever you're working on any page, you can just quickly go in, view what you're looking at, and edit it easily through the admin area. Okay, so they're big features that's coming in 3.0, which is coming soon. I will post more info on that as soon as possible, and I'll be doing some more videos with even more new improvements and changes that's coming, so stay tuned for that. Okay, thank you for watching, and goodbye.